Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Thank you all so much for tuning in once again. This is Erik Dunn. I am here live from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This is the last broadcast for the month of August. Hard to believe, folks. We're making the turn into September as this weekend is Labor Day. And You know, as you guys have known with me, I go heavy on WWE, and that's no different regarding this week's broadcast. Um, Last week, my dad, Edward Dunn, and I, we broadcast live from Nashville. We were on vacation, and Hall of Famer Jerry Lynn passed away that week, and it was just a really sad feeling because of the impact he left WWE. But I think something else made it even worse. Because later on that night, Bray Wyatt unexpectedly passed away at 36 years of age due to a heart attack. And, I wanted to take that first couple minutes to explain to you guys about Bray's career, what he meant to WWE, what he meant to fans like myself as part of the WWE universe. And then on top of that, John Cena, who is not just returning, he's coming home for a while. I'm going to be able to break all that down for you and give you guys everything you need to know about the GOAT, the 16-time world champion, returning back to WWE once again, this time with maybe some different intentions in mind. And then WWE's Payback, live this Saturday night from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, live on Peacock. I got the full card. I'll break it all down, give my predictions, and this will be coming at you throughout our time together. So, with that being said, I'd like to inform all of you at this time that this broadcast of False Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Rhode Island Broadcasting for the uses of our audience, and any publication, reuses, or redistributions by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared everywhere and is greatly appreciated. And just also let you guys know that we go live every Wednesday at 5. We are available on Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and TuneIn Podcast, as well as right here on Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, and on YouTube. And also, please also do follow us on Kick as well, as that's also another new platform that we just added. Um, so brutal honesty is something that I've been building myself to be known for throughout my entire career, or as I've been building my career in broadcasting. And for WWE, I shoot right from the hip. I'll never BS you. I'll never lie to you. And I'll just tell you real and raw and just leave it out there in the open. Unfortunately, this is one of these moments where I'm going to get real, but it's going to be for maybe for something a lot of us wrestling fans can relate to, and that is Windham Rotunda, as known as the Eater of Worlds and the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And before we do get into WWE, I actually have someone that I want you guys to say hi to, and it is a local wrestler from the Fall River, New Bedford area. He is also one of my co-hosts here at Falls Count Anywhere, and it's Mr. X Jr. And just as I said his name, he pops up right there on the screen. What's up, brother?
Much. How are you?
Hanging in there, man. It's good to be able to see your face clearly after we had some Wi-Fi issues last week. um, just real quick, brother, before I let you get into your thing, um, I wanted to ask you if you have an update on your father and what his condition currently is right now.
Well, he seems to be doing better. Thank you.
on the progress that he's been making. What are the signs you're seeing that he's actually making progress? He's actually getting better. Like, what have you been seeing that's been like an improvement?
I mean, it's the usual, with the chemo and radiation. Feeling sick and not yourself, but at the same
Sure,
time, the doctors are saying he seems to be getting better. So that's an improvement.
absolutely. That's wonderful. That's always been something that for a lot of you guys have been telling you to keep the prayers in for um, Junior here and also for his whole family because I mean this man he's already been put through enough. He's been tortured enough, and I think any love that we can get and that we can give him from not just our fans here, our False Anywhere, but also all of us as a family and all of us here at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Because the truth is, even though we are a company, we're all doing separate shows. We all have one goal, and that's to entertain all of you. But even when we do go to entertain all of you, we are still humans. We still have families. We still have real moments in our lives that we have to endure and go through and obstacles to jump over. So when something like this happens, we all have to just bond together as a family. And brother, that's awesome to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. Please continue the prayers though for Junior for his whole family. Please continue the prayers for his father because as you know, God is good. Or that's what at least I believe. God is good. He's good all the time. And, I believe in faith, I believe in hope, and I believe in healing. And I know that he's going to heal. So just keep the prayers strong for Junior and for his whole family as much as you guys can. And we'll be able to give you guys some updates too over the coming weeks into September as we approach the fall. And, and hopefully the more positive news we get, brother, the more we're going to be able to spread some good and spread some love and spread some happiness. But that's a damn good update and that's a damn good positive one. So that's really what I think a lot of us needed. So thank you for that, man. I'm glad to hear it. Um,
Thank you.
I also I want to hear about some updates from you, man. We haven't had a chance to speak that much. I want to hear what's going on with you over at the school locally, and basically on everything that's going on. Because I think you've got a couple of autograph signings coming up, don't you? Some appearances.
Yes, I've got another toy and comic fair from Erin Events. They asked me to come back and be a guest again. I was a guest at their first one. Actually, our good friend Tony Jones got me the gig the first time and hooked me up with the guy that runs it. So thank you, Tony, and also thank you to the guy and his wife who runs Erin Events and puts on these shows
Mm.
for asking me to come back as a guest again. The first one was in Riverside, Rhode Island, just a few months back, and this one will be October 1st. So if you go to Erin Events on Facebook or you follow me on Facebook, all the updates will be there. They tag me in it. I also share it, just like Tony does. And also, too, Maniac Mike, from the owner of AWL and also wrestler of XUC, will also be a guest there. And there'll be a few other wrestling guests there. I can't really remember their names off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, I mean, and training's great. I still go to training every week down at the PAL over in Fall River for top rope. Like I said, that's another good, amazing school that you can go to, especially if you live within the Fall River area.
Mm.
There's top rope, their lockup school that you can go to. There's NRG out in New Bedford that also has a school. Then out in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, there's Showcase Pro Wrestling, which is where I started at back in last December. And then I started to go to top rope around March of last actually this year that we're still in. So almost a year ago. But anyways, and then again, if you live around like the Holyoke, Springfield, Mass area, you got BCW, Bay State Championship Wrestling. Look them up. Louis Abroy or Eric Rosa, I believe the other promoter's name is. He's also, I believe, one of the trainers. Another great school, great company. They got a lot of good content online. So there's SPW, Top Rope, and NRG. They all put on good shows. They have a lot of good content on their YouTube and Facebook. Same with XUC. XUC though is just a promotion, an indie promotion no school, but
Yeah.
still, got good matches. Sorry, it's been a long day, so I'm having a hard
No,
time.
no, no, no. It's all good.
It's also
Uh,
already 1 year since the passing of the original Rex, my father-in-law. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, if you
we're
look
praying for your
there,
brother always.
also too, you've got Beyond Wrestling, who has a school somewhere, I think, like up around the Boston area. I'm not exactly sure which town, but you live right around like Boston, Worcester area. You got Beyond Wrestling that has a school. So I mean, there's lots of places that you can go to now. Lots of places. So I mean, no matter where you are, if your dream is to become a professional wrestler, a referee, maybe even a commentator, some schools help you to become commentators and even ring announcers. Again, just I would suggest personally to go in person, find out what days they're open and the times. Go there in person, speak with the promoter and the
Mhm.
coach as well. Um, and work out something, work out a deal, live your dream.
Yep,
Follow your dream. Nobody can stop you from doing anything you want to do except for yourself. You know,
exactly.
you can achieve anything you put your mind to. The mind is a very powerful tool, so don't let anyone say you can't. If you believe you can, don't listen to them. Listen to know your own mind, your own voice.
Conscious,
Yeah,
conscious.
that's
Yep.
right. Say I can do it, and hey, if your dream is to become a professional wrestler, whether if it's just for the indies only or one day be the next like Stone Cold Steve Austin or Rock, hey, you know what? I can guarantee you everybody here on this podcast believes in you too.
Amen. Amen to that. Hey, listen, brother. So right before you jumped in, I was gonna give my opening, and I wanted to see if you have any comment on this. Um, so for last week's broadcast, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry Lynn passed away that morning, and I gave some updates on them and his backstory and his entire career, what he meant to WWE, and how in ECW with like the likes of um, Nick Foley, he was able to build up that brand, help out WWE in the early stages.
I'm
But
sorry, you
we got
said
hit with some.
which ECW legend passed away?
Um, yeah, so that man, his name is Jerry Lynn. So that was last
I'll be
Wednesday morning.
surprised. I'll admit, Jerry Lynn, I remember meeting him in person when I was a kid. I wasn't sure if you said Jerry Lynn because I did hear of Terry Funk, and that was very sad. That was one guy I did look up to: Terry Funk, Mick Foley, Mikey Whipwreck, the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Raven. I can go on. I was really into ECW growing up,
Oh
and
yeah.
but I'll admit I did not hear of Jerry Lynn. I'm sorry to all the fans, but I did not. That's very sad to hear. Jerry Lynn.
Oh no, sorry about that. Sorry. Um, that is Terry Funk. I think Jerry Lynn. I think he's still alive over in AEW.
Oh,
Why was I saying Jerry Lynn for some reason?
Jerry
I
Funk.
know that he was.
I was gonna.
Yeah, because because I know that Jerry Lynn, he was very close with the likes of what's his name, Rob Van Dam, back in ECW. I know he was in ECW at one point. Um,
I remember meeting him once as a kid in an indie show. It was the same
yeah,
show
yeah,
that's
that was my bad. Sorry.
and
Yeah, sorry about that. That was my fault. I don't know why I said Jerry Lynn. That was Terry Funk. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
I
Um,
I did not hear about. I did hear about Terry Funk, and then the
yeah,
following day, literally the next day after, the great uh, Great Wyatt.
I know exactly where you're going, and that's exactly what I was about to say, brother.
Yeah,
Um, literally that night, and this was maybe or 2 hours after we went off air. WWE's chief operating officer and executive director of talent relations, Triple H, he sent out a tweet that the Fiend Bray Wyatt unfortunately died at the age of 36 due to a heart attack.
it's very.
And you know what I mean? This Junior hit home for a lot of fans in the WWE universe. You know, This is a guy that started out in as a part of Nexus as Husky Harris. He was someone that went back in NXT, worked his way up. 2014, he became Bray Wyatt. He formed the Wyatt family with like Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I mean, no lie, his first real match was WrestleMania 30 against the GOAT John Cena. I mean, he began his career facing off against one of the greatest to ever be, not just in that company, but in the ring, in the business in general. And, the accomplishments Wyatt had spoke eminence on who he was. I mean, he was a defining superstar of his generation, accomplished many feats in WWE, including becoming WWE champion back in 2017. And his iconic rivalries was with Cena, Randy Orton, and also The Undertaker, because you can remember that from the WrestleMania after. And, you know, obviously we heard on Thursday um, that he died, but that night on Wednesday, something just didn't feel right from when I was thinking about him, Junior. You know what I mean? Because he'd been off TV for a while. Something was up. Something was wrong. I mean, they were trying to bring him back, but they just weren't bringing him back, and I just couldn't figure out why. And when he did got sent home off TV and off WWE, he was battling a private illness that was very undisclosed. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't share it. He wouldn't tell anybody about it. Obviously, his family knew, but he wouldn't tell the fans. Um, but this is a guy that grew popularity with the fans. This is a guy that grew a lot of love and respect from that fan base in general. Um, Honestly, Junior, it was just a sad day for WWE when you hear something like this. 36 years old. 36 years old. Died of a heart attack. That's like unheard of for an age like that, but it's life though. I know something like this happens. Crap happens, right? But I mean, he left an impact on this company, and I don't think anyone's going to ever forget the impact that he left. It definitely wasn't like big accomplishments to make him a Hall of Famer, but it was more than enough for the fans to say we're going to remember you for a long time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he was a great talent. I mean, I did see quite a few of his matches, and I mean, just the you could tell just from the atmosphere and everything. As soon as his music played, I mean, back in the day with the Undertaking stuff in the '90s before the cell phones, they had the lighters, and now people with the cell phones with the lights, and you'd see that and him with the
Yeah, the Fireflies.
and
Yeah,
stuff and walking down. I mean, it was just and I mean he comes from a family of a lot of great talented wrestlers. I mean his brother, even his father, which I remember growing up watching the IRS, um, and I believe his grandfather too, but I don't remember seeing his grandfather wrestle. I mean, honestly, I'm only 36
hmm
years old.
sure, sure.
I mean, it's Great Riot. So,
Right.
but I mean, I did
Yeah, man. Like, yeah,
his father. I seen a couple matches with his brother, not too many. But I mean, the ones that I did see, I would say he was good, just like their father and just like him, And yeah, I've been
yeah.
seeing all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram about his passing, and yeah, I mean, it's a sad day. It's sad when any wrestler falls, passes
Yeah.
away or goes on to the next life.
No, I understand, brother. No, no, no. Like I get it, and obviously, when you hear something like this, like the word heart attack, what's the first thing that came to mind for me when it came to that? I mean, it was the death of Eddie Guerrero on Latino Heat. He
Yeah,
died at 30. He died at 38 of a heart attack,
yeah,
and trust me when I tell you, this is a guy that hit rock bottom, grew to be one of the most popular of the Ruthless Aggression era in the history of WWE. He stepped up, became a fan favorite for the fans. He was a good heel too. And the truth is, dude, I hate heels. Like I can't stand heels, but I respect the work of a heel if you can relate to that. You know what I mean? And trust me, Eddie. I mean, dude, did you hear the reaction from this year's WrestleMania? when part of Rey Mysterio's entrance theme was Eddie's Viva la Rasta. Like, did you hear that pop from the crowd? That pop was just insane. That just goes to show how many people still love Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was cool, man. And you know what I mean? I think the impact that Eddie left when he passed away is the same that Bray left when he died last week. You know, he is somebody that put in the work, paid his dues, he sacrificed. But guys like Cena, Orton, and Taker, they helped his career. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember when it was the Wyatts versus the Brothers of Destruction in 2015 later on that year. That year, it wasn't just him and Taker. It was him, Taker, and Kane. Like, it was a year where Wyatt started to ascend who he was. You know, and it's a damn shame with the way that it is. That this had to be the way it is, but I mean, Wyatt's going to live on in a lot of people's minds forever. Junior, like he's not going anywhere. Um, and
I,
you know, it's definitely a sad day for WWE.
I remember seeing the match with Bray Wyatt and John Cena during was it WrestleMania or SummerSlam during COVID?
WrestleMania 30.
Yes.
But
And
then, no, oh my God, the Firefly Funhouse, that thing, oh my
yes.
God, yeah, that was the one that moved into the a performance center that year in COVID when COVID got too out of control. Yep,
Yeah. And then that was
that match was stupid.
the same WrestleMania too, where you saw Undertaker and AJ Styles in the old classic cemetery matches, which were more known
Hmm.
WCW doing, like with Vampiro and the Demon. Um, and I mean, I like that fun house match. I thought it was I thought it was entertaining, but I mean, I like quirky matches like that. I'm into all types of.
Sure,
I'm into the comedy. I'm into the hardcore. I'm into the old fashioned classic single matches, the battle royals. Intergender. You name it. I like it all.
yeah, of course. Oh, Junior, do you also remember when he teamed up with Matt Hardy in 2018? They were the Eater of Deletion, something like that. Delete, delete, delete. That was a funny moment too. WrestleMania 34. Wyatt saved Hardy in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and they ended up becoming a tag team that following night when Jeff returned from his surgery. I mean, Wyatt created moments that a lot of us are going to remember, and that's the best thing about it, brother. Um, but just real quick, I do got to get to our break here. Um, Before we do that, I want to give the opportunity for you to reach for you to tell our fans and tell all of us how we can reach out to you, how we can find you, and your events that are coming up soon.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier, I do have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much all the social media. I'm on Facebook more, so if you're gonna hit me up, definitely follow my Facebook. I definitely go on that more. And yeah, I mean, again, I'll be at the Toy and Comic Fair, Palooza, by Aaron Events. That's October 1st. Look Aaron Events up, to get more updates on it. They're always updating it every day with new special guests. I believe Tony Jones is also supposed to be there again. Maniac Mike and so many more other people. I noticed they had some other people that were at the last one that'll be at this one too. This one is in Warwick, Rhode Island, from 12 to 4. I believe it's at the Knights of Columbus. But again, if you go to Aaron Events, you got it all day. If you look me up on Facebook, I've been sharing the posts. They've been tagging me just like Tony Jones in all of it, as well as Maniac Mike. So, look all of us up, follow all of us. And I should have a match coming out soon that was done at a recent AWL match, American Wrestling League. I'm not gonna quite say who I wrestled yet. I'll just, I guess, stay on suspicion.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course, that's understandable.
Keep a lookout for it for when AWL finally airs the match. I can't say when because I really don't know. And yeah, and again, minus all that, but the passing of Great Wally the day before was bad. And I did see the tribute they had for him. But right at the end, they had one light center on the rocking chair. Everybody's singing. He has the whole world in his hands.
In his hands.
That was just it was touching and incredible.
Yeah, it's like, dude, a lot of people saying that. A lot of people were saying that.
It just shows you the impact that not only Funk had on people, but also Great White himself, like you said, from both fans and wrestlers alike.
Yes, absolutely, brother. Well, folks, um, this is the man of the hour right here. This is the one and only Mr. X Jr. Brother, thank you so much for joining in. And if you're all set, I am looking forward to seeing you next week when we turn the page into September.
Yes. Thank you.
And also, just know that we're still praying for your father, brother. Like, I'm still pushing that out as hard as I can. So hopefully next time we talk to you, hopefully we'll have another update and it's even more positive than the positive one we got today, hopefully.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Folks, Mr. X Jr. right here. The man, the myth, the legend. So with that being said, we need to take our only break here. And when we do come back, don't think I haven't forgotten about John Cena. Folks, it is official. John Cena is not just returning to WWE. It looks like he's sticking around for a while. This could potentially be the fall of Cena. Not the falling. The season autumn. Okay? The fall of Cena. I will explain that when we do come back on the back end here. And then on top of that, regarding John Cena, I'll also have an update for you on why he's going to be at this week's SmackDown on Friday night. So there's a lot of questions that will be answered regarding that. And also, Cena's also returning to action yet again. I will explain who he's going to be facing off against and maybe who's going to do it with. That'll be a little bit of a spoiler to say for you. And then after that, WWE's Payback live this Saturday from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, live on Peacock. I've got the full card ready to go. I've got the full card to dissect. I'll give you guys the updates of each match. I'll give you the breakdown. I'll also give you all of my predictions for that match when we do return and come back with a word from Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island and a word from your Rhode Island broadcasting station. You're watching and listening to Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network, and I will be right back.
If you're looking for an entertainment company to help you with your event of any kind, feel free to check out Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island. Providence-based company serving all of New England, providing you entertainment needs in the areas of sound, lighting, photo booth, photography, videography, drone videography, monograms, slideshows, and of course, DJ sound. As a special bonus, we also have wedding officiant services through Road to Love Wedding Services in conjunction with Lighthouse Productions to provide you all of your wedding needs. Don't need a wedding? Fantastic. You need music or a reason to have entertainment for a party of any kind? We can handle all budgets and all sizes and all different types of venues. With COVID, there's a 100% money back guarantee for any type of cancellation and rescheduling needs. Check us out at lighthouseproductionsri.com. Lighthouse Productions Rhode Island, your entertainment source for all of New England.
And folks, welcome back. Falls Count Anywhere. That was a pretty interesting break too, because as I exited break, it turns out I timed that really well, and the man behind the scenes, Ron Rugo, messaged me privately, and he said, "Look at you gloating," because he could see me on his monitor. I'm like, well, hey, if you timed that commercial song right, I mean, you would be gloating too if you timed it just well. So that way, it's not just instrumental music for another 20 seconds, That's just besides the fact. Um, but I'm still smiling though anyway because of that. And John Cena, folks, is he coming back? And the update regarding Cena, I don't think I've seen this in a while. The last time I remember seeing something like this was 2 years ago, the summer of Cena, when he returned at Money in the Bank after being gone for almost 18 months to face Reigns for the Universal title at that year's SummerSlam. This time, here's the update I have for you regarding Cena. WWE officially announced earlier in the week that John Cena, who's returning to Friday Night SmackDown this Friday night at the Giants Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania, will also appear on SmackDown for 7 consecutive weeks, beginning on the 15th at the Ball Arena in Denver through the end of October. But here's the irony of all this. There's one date on here that's missing. September 8th. And that is at TD Garden in Boston, his hometown. I'm surprised they didn't give him that. I honestly have no idea why they didn't give him that. But the dates for this is the 22nd at the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. The following one, the 29th, the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Then October 6th, the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. October 13th, the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. September 20th, the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas. And October 27th, the Fisher Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So throughout his SmackDown return, Cena, in partnership with Make-A-Wish, will host children and their families in each of the 8 cities to experience a WWE event in person. For 40 years, WWE and Make-A-Wish have granted the wishes of children with life-threatening illnesses whose desire is to meet their favorite WWE superstars. Cena is the most requested wish granter of all time, having granted more than 650 wishes for children across the globe. And also, as previously announced, Cena will also appear at the WWE Superstar Spectacle at the GMC Balayogi Indoor Stadium in India on Friday, September 8th. So that's also why he's not going to be there, because of that event that's in India. So that's why Cena's not going to be there. I was like, wait a minute, why isn't the 8th there? Because I know that the 8th are in Boston. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot. He's going to be in India. I'm like, oops, my bad. But regardless of which, here's also what I found out regarding that event. John Cena is going to be teaming up with the current World Heavyweight Champion, the visionary Seth Rollins. Not as opponents, as tag team partners. I never thought that would happen. Because if you guys can think back to the year of 2015, it was the Cena Rollins story that entire year. That rivalry was one of the most personal in the history of WWE. Rollins just sold out to the Authority, and he wasn't really being the champion that a lot of us were wanting, as in wanting to defend it anytime, any place, anywhere. Cena was doing that down in the mid card with the United States title, and he did a U.S. Open Challenge on Monday Night Raw live every single Monday. He did that for a very long time that year. He actually did that for almost a good, he did that for about 4.5 months straight. He did it again for another month. But Cena is just a guy that wants to fight and give the audience and us, the WWE Universe, what we want. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see Cena return. And on top of that, I'll also have some updates for you guys regarding Cena as we pass each week. Because now with the 16-time world champion coming back home, it just got interesting now. And excuse me, sorry. Could that also mean maybe the demands that we're looking for finally get answered? Could Cena get one more run? We'll have to find out. We will have to find out. And, for John Cena, this is just a guy that really speaks to a lot of fans. Whether you love him or you hate him, you have to respect him for the work he's not afraid to do. That's something else, too. Cena's not afraid to put in the work. He's not. And I'll have some updates for you guys on Cena for next week's broadcast as well. And now we've hit the final topic here, and that's Payback. Payback is live this Saturday from the PVG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, the home of the Olympic gold medalist and Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. So, here's the card I have for you guys for Payback, along with my predictions here. And the card did get updated throughout the time, and here it is. So this is from bottom to top here. For the United States title, Rey Mysterio is going to defend against Austin Theory. So Austin Theory, guys, rematch. Here's what I think about this. So the biggest thing with Theory is that a lot of us in WWE were hoping Theory would finally lose. And I mean a lot of us wanted that to be Cena back at WrestleMania. But because of his movie obligations and the projects he was already doing, he couldn't commit that time to be champion for a while. And that sucked. A lot of us thought that Cena would do it. Or be champion for the one night, hold an open challenge, and maybe he will lose it. But I'm happy that Rey Mysterio, that Ray is champion again. He is the third. He's also champion for the third time in his career, winning the United States title. So I think for Cena, that kind of spoke to me where I think this company wanted to go with Ray. And I'm excited. The Hall of Famer wins another title. Let's go. I want Ray to retain that one, without a doubt. This one's interesting. LA Knight versus The Miz. Two of the biggest promo mic droppers in the history of this company. LA Knight's on a tear. He can't keep stumbling here. He's going to take this easily, I think. Miz is not going to get this one. Next one. This one is not a match. Cody Rhodes is going to appear on the Grayson Waller effect. Waller had Cena on it, he had Edge on it, and both times he's got his ass kicked. So maybe with this one, with Cody, it'll be no different, but the problem with Cody is we still don't know basically what's going on. The story with Lesnar has officially wrapped up at SummerSlam, but there's still no word on what is Cody's next steps regarding his story and his path in WWE. I know he wants to get that. I know he wants to try to win that title again, but I know that he's going to have to jump through hoops just to even get that. So we'll see how that one goes. This one got added back on Raw Monday night. For the undisputed tag team titles, it's KO Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. I really do not want KO and Sami to lose these. But something I want to make sure I state for you is that KO and Sami are both actually injured right now. And a few of them that they have Also, please do forgive me for the yawns here. It's just allergies and the weather. The hour humidity up here that goes up and down, kind of like the stock market, it's a pain in the ass at times. It really is. It's such a nuisance. It's a pain. It's just ridiculous. I apologize about that. But, um, KO and Sammy are actually both legitimately hurt. I'm not sure what the recovery is on that, but I'm certain that they're still going to battle through it and wrestle through it. So KO and Sammy, I'm picking them to get this win and for them to retain these titles. Um, and then the man, big time Becky Lynch faces Hall of Famer Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. So Lynch finally gets her hands on Stratus, who beat Zoe Stark, the Mystery, in a Falls Count Anywhere match back on Raw Monday night. And she gave a really cool tribute to Bray too at the end, just as Raw was going off the air on USA. Tears in her eyes, holding up the wristband for Bray. That was a cool sight, man. That was really cool. I hope Bex can just continue this momentum because I'm hoping for it. Second to last, for the women's world title, Rhea Ripley defends against Raquel Rodriguez. So Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan lost their women's tag team titles due to Liv's injury. And the biggest thing we looked at with Raquel is, could she actually dethrone Rhea? As much as I want to think she will, I don't think Rhea's going to get stripped of that yet. So I'm going to have to pick Rhea on this one, surprisingly. But I won't be surprised if Rhea wins. But I'm hoping that Raquel will. And now we get to the main event. And this is the part where I'm letting you guys know this ahead of time. Seth Rollins defends the World Heavyweight title against Shinsuke Nakamura. And let me just be very clear right now. I have no idea what's going to happen in this match, but here's what I do know. There's no telling how long Rollins is going to be able to hang on with this. Let me tell you why. Back on Raw Monday night, Shinsuke, during his segment, whispered something in Seth's ear that startled him. And it was, "I know about your back." Ross apparently had a very bad back since 2019, might need surgery, and it might be on the level of Orton's back fusion surgery, which could make it even worse for not just his health, but for the future of his career. I hope it doesn't go to surgery. It might go to that, but Rollins is doing so well. Rollins is just doing well. It would be a damn travesty if Rollins had to lose that title because of his health. But how many times have we seen in WWE where champions relinquishes their titles because of physical injuries? Finn Balor 7 years ago when he tore his labrum. Reigns 2 years later when he was battling when his leukemia came back. I'm trying to think of who else that I remember. I don't know who else. Oh yeah, Edge, 12 years ago, when he had to find out that he had to retire because of his neck. I don't know what the match is going to be with Rollins and Nakamura, but here's what I do know about this match. It's going to be do or die for Seth in my eyes. And I think that for Seth right now, he needs to be able to hold his ground and figure this out. I think he will, but he just needs to figure this out, hold his ground, and figure out, in his eyes, what he can do to get this win. I think for Seth, I think he's got it. I think he'll hang in there. But yeah, those are my predictions for Payback. But here's what I'm looking at right now. As good as Payback is going to be, I'm really interested in hearing what Cena has to say. this Friday night on SmackDown. And I'm really excited to have the fall of Cena, man, where he's going to kick off September and go into October as well. I mean, we've got Cena for approximately the next almost 2 months of SmackDown. Sweet, sweet, sweet. With that being said, the updates I'll have you guys for next week's broadcast is the updates on Cena and and what he said on this Friday's SmackDown and what that could mean for the aftermath. I'll also give you the aftermath of Payback, including the results of my predictions and results of each match. But just to also give you guys fair warning as well. The next time WWE goes to a premium live event, from what I know, that is October 7th in Indianapolis at Fastlane. So basically, if you look at the calendar right now and you look at that week, so basically you hit the second, so you got, so basically Fastlane's in 5 weeks from this Saturday. So a lot could tie into what could happen for that one as well. But yes, that is true. For WWE, it's life at the Fastlane. That's true. I agree with that. Because that's what they're doing. Life at the Fastlane, they're moving and they're trucking. But yeah, so that's the card for next week, guys. John Cena updates, Payback results, Raw and SmackDown as well. And hopefully next week, my dad, Edward Dunn, will join me with updates on AEW's All In London and Impact. Tony Jones might be joining us as well, hopefully. And the man, Mr. X Jr., will also be coming back, we hope as well. Please keep his father in prayers, keep Junior in prayers as well, too, please. Because this is a tough time for him, for his whole family. And, hey, we are all a family here at Rhode Island Broadcasting, whether we're on the same story or on the same page, or if we're not. Regardless of if we're on opposing sides or not, we're all still one team here trying to build this company. And, our job for the man Ron Rugo behind the scenes here is to help him. So as much as you guys can do, not only will that help us, that'll help him just as much. And so, with that being said, Wednesdays at 5 is where we go live on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, YouTube and Facebook, also on Kick and Discord as well, and on Google, Spotify, Amazon, Red Circle, and TuneIn Podcasts. And so, with that being said, on behalf of my co-host, wrestling promoter Tony Jones, my dad, Edward Dunn, wrestler Mr. X Jr., and the man behind the scenes, Ron Rugo, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been the final presentation of August of Falls Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Next week, guys, the week of Labor Day, John Cena updates, Payback results, and I hope everyone has a phenomenal weekend, has a great Labor Day. Be safe out there. Happy first weekend of September, and I'll see you guys when we turn the page into the first full week of September. Thank you guys so much once again for watching and listening.